ที่รักคุณสาคุณสา
คนที่ฉันรักคือไออุ่น
Hi, welcome to Wouldn't Be a Drama, a Geo Drama podcast. I am your host, Jazz, and we are not joined by my co host, Linda, today. She was not able to record because she had to work. So, yeah, you get me by myself today again. And it'll probably be the case next week, too, to be honest. I think she said that her job is working them pretty hard right now. So, she might not be on the podcast for at least this week and next week. So hopefully the week after that she'll be back. I know she's reacting to stuff for her channel, so you'll probably see some of her reactions go up over the next few days because she's trying to play catch up. But for now, for the next couple weeks at least, it's gonna be just me and you guys. So yeah, last week we took a break because she was working and everything, and we were both going through some personal stuff. So we decided to take a little break. But yeah, now I'm back at least. For now, I'm back. And yeah, we'll hold down the fort here until Linda's able to join us again. Um, I will say though, if you do see me looking down a lot, it's because I hurt myself over the last couple of days. So I'm wearing this fancy little wrist brace. So I might have to adjust it every now and then just to make sure it's comfortable while we're doing this. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about Us the Series, episode 6. I have watched episode 7 already, and I'm going to record that as soon as I'm done with this one. So you'll get both of those reactions, or both of those recaps this week. I'm planning on having this one come out Monday, as of recording on Monday. And then I'll probably have episode 7 out on Wednesday. I hope. That's the plan. Anyway, and then I'm gonna have a bonus video up for you guys on Friday of me reacting to something. I don't know what I'm gonna be reacting to yet, but I'll react to something. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into Us episode 6. So we start off episode 6 pretty much where we left off in episode 5. We see Dokrak and Pam looking for Natcha in the woods, and they run into Dokrak's dad. So yeah, that happened. So yeah, we see her dad, offering to have his men help look for Natcha, and Dokrak's like, yeah, don't bother, it's fine, we'll find her on our own. and her dad is trying to help her, but he has ulterior motives when it comes to helping. But before he even gets the chance to do anything, Dokrak gets a call from Ake saying that they found Natcha. So while she's on the phone doing that, Pam, meanwhile, is staring down Dr. Kim. She is very, very upset to be looking at him right now. And Dr. Kim is looking at Pam. He's like, "You keep staring at me. Do we know each other?" And Pam's like, "I mean, we do, but for the sake of this, I'll just say no." Well, Pam doesn't really say anything. Dokrak says no for her. And Dr. Kim keeps bugging Dokrak. He's like, "When are you gonna come back home?" And she just ignores him, grabs Pam, and walks off. So after that, we see Dokrak and Pam. They meet back up with Preem and Ake, and they have Natcha. Natcha's crying. She's very distraught. So they're trying to comfort her and trying to see if she's injured and she can walk back to camp. And Natcha, in between tears, she's like trying to explain to them what happened that night. She's like, I messaged Minnie. Oh, Minnie messaged me. She told me that we can't talk anymore because her partner caught her talking to Natcha. So yeah, the girl that Natcha's been in love with for like 4 years is already with somebody. So yeah, that sucks for Natcha. I feel bad for her. I feel so bad for her. She didn't deserve that. She's like, I thought we were together this whole time, and she already had somebody, and she didn't tell me. So yeah, I felt so bad for her in that moment. Um, But, they get her back to camp. And in the meantime, we get a scene with T and Grandma at her shop. And we see a couple of doctors walk in. And one of them is Dokrak's mom. They come in for some sweets because one of her colleagues mentioned that Pam's grandma has like the best sweets ever, and so they buy some. And grandma's helping them, and lo and behold, somebody else walks into the shop, and that someone is Nene. And Nene does not look thrilled to see Dokrak's mom there. But she if she has an opportunity, she's going to use it, and this is her opportunity since she can't get a hold of Pam right now. So yeah, she's being extra nice to Grandma. I mean, I don't know why she wouldn't be. She has no beef against Grandma, but yeah, she keeps staring at Dokrak's mom, and Dokrak's mom, she looks a little uncomfortable with it, but she's not gonna say anything. So they part their ways, and yeah, you kind of get the feeling that something's gonna happen with that soon. And we do see something happen with that later. But we go back to the campsite with everyone, and Dokrak and Pam have a little bit of a moment, a little bit of one. Dokrak calls Pam's name, and Pam's like, "Yeah," and Dokrak does not say anything. She just keeps staring at Pam. She's just memorized by Pam. She can't say anything. And Pam's like, "Why did you call me?" And Dokrak's like, "Oh, nothing. I just wanted to say your name." She said, "Can I just say your name?" And Pam's like, "Yeah, you can say whatever you want. Like, you can call me whatever you want." And Dokrak offers to make her coffee, and she gets ready to turn away, and Pam does something very smooth. She grabs the side of Dokrak's face and moves it towards her. And I was like, "Oh, that's a good move. That's a good move, Pam. Good job. Good job." And Dokrak's like, "Why are you touching my face?" And she's nervous. She just doesn't want people to see them. And Pam stops, and she's like, "I just can't keep my hands to myself pretty much when I'm around you." Um, they're so in love with each other. It's insane how in love they are with each other. So yeah, they have that little moment, and then we go back to Nene. She's going to the coffee shop, and when she gets there, she notices that the sign on the door says, that they're closed for 3 days and they'll be back on Monday. And so she tries to call Pam, and she can't get a hold of Pam. And so she's like, what are you doing? Why can't I get a hold of you? And in some ways, she does look kind of concerned. I understand why she's concerned, because, she wants information, and Pam's not there to give it to her. So she is a little bit concerned, probably for both reasons of genuine concern and for this thing that they have going on. So she turns around, and Oat is there. And she's like a fucking puppy when it comes to Nene. She's just like, "Hi, what are you doing? Where are you going? You want to hang out?" And so, um, yeah, she's pretty much asking Nene, like, "Hey, you want to hang out? You want to go do something?" And she keeps trying to brush her off. And it's like, "Can I ask you one more question?" She's like, "Do you like Thai sweets or Thai desserts?" And Nene's like, "Yeah, like, what's wrong with that? Why wouldn't I like Thai desserts?" And it's like, "Well, you just kind of give off the vibe of someone who likes cakes and baguettes versus Thai desserts." And Nene's like, "Look, all right, I might dress up and I might look like someone who's super dressed up all the time, but that doesn't mean that I can't eat street food." And Oat is impressed by that. She's like, "Okay, I was right about you." She's like, "You're pretty interesting, Nene." And Nene responds, I love her response. She's like, "Oh, is that so?" She's like, "I don't find you interesting at all." And I'm like, "That's a lie." Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be entertaining her every time she has a conversation with you. And so she goes to walk off, and Oat tells her, "You'll always be in my sight." And Nene's like, "What do you mean by that?" And Oat says, "It's exactly what I just said." And so she walks off, and Nene, she looks she looks nervous, but also kind of intrigued. You know, she's starting to like a little bit. You can tell she's starting to like her a little bit, even if she won't admit it to herself. She is. I love their dynamic though. I think they're cute. Um, so now we are back with Pam and Dokrak again, and you know, Dokrak, she feels bad because she wants to talk about, like she feels bad because she's talking about Cowie, and she feels bad to talking about Cowie because of him and Pam. And Pam, she reiterates with her like, you can talk about it, it's fine. And Dokrak kind of questions her. She's like, don't you think that our feelings for each other are wrong? And Pam asks like, what makes you think that they're wrong? And like, what do you think is wrong with our feelings? And Dokrak's like, everything. She's like, I don't feel like our love should have happened. I don't feel like we should have met each other, basically. And Pam's like, I don't agree with that. And she tells her, you're like the best. She pretty much tells her like, you're the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I was like, that's so cute. I love how Pam always I don't want to say comforts, but she always reassures Dokrak that they met for a reason and that they were supposed to meet. Because let's be honest, none of this in between stuff with Cowie would have happened if Dokrak would have just told Cowie from the beginning, I will not help you because I like her too. But we wouldn't have a drama then if that would have happened. So we had to have all this questioning and stuff. And so, Pam tells Dokrak, she's like, I've been really sad if we hadn't met each other. You're the best thing that's happened to me since we've met. And Dokrak, she likes that, and so she asks Pam for a hug. And Pam's like, you weren't acting like this just a minute ago. Why do you want to hug all of a sudden now? She's like, aren't you afraid people might see us? And so Dokrak, she's like, fine, I won't get a hug from you then. And then she says, what does she say to Pam? She's like, oh, you smell nice. I just want to roll all over you and have your scent hope and have your scent stay on me. And Pam's like, oh, okay, yeah. She's like, well, I think you smell nice too, so so can I hug you too? And the guy tells her no. People might see. It's like, but you just wanted to hug me earlier. Now you're telling me no when I asked for a hug. That's not fair. And so Dokrak's like, we should go check on it. One should be done making breakfast by now. And yeah, so Dokrak goes to stand up, and she does give Pam a hug. She does give Pam a hug. Is the only way she can get Pam to stand up, but she does give Pam a hug, so they do get the hug together. So when they make it back to camp, Dokrak's not very happy. Neither is Pam, but because Dokrak's dad is there, hanging out with her friends. And so she walks up to him. She's like, what are you doing here? And Egg is like, that why would you say that? Don't talk to your dad that way, type of thing. And she tells her dad, just leave. I don't want you here with my friends. You need to go. And he's like, I was getting ready to leave, but that's why I stopped here to talk to you first. And she's like, I'm not talking to you. And she's like, we can talk here. I don't mind. I'd like to get to know your friends better anyway. And so Dokrak's like, you know what? Fine. Let's go. So they go someplace else to talk. And before they go, he notices Pam keeps staring at him. And so he asks her what her name is. And Pam answers him. She's like, my name is Pam. And he's like, it's nice to meet you. And so him and Dokrak go to speak privately. And it's basically just him telling her, like, when are you going to come home? And Dokrak's like, I don't have time to come home. Nor do I really want to, but I just don't have the time. And he's like, are you ever going to come home? Your mom really wants to see you. And Doug is like, I'm not coming home. Like, I wish you would stop asking me that. um, and he's being himself. He's like, kids these days, and she's like, you can't blame kids. Have you ever thought to ask maybe why adults act the way they do to make their kids act the way that they do? And he doesn't like that because she's throwing his behavior back at him, and he does not like that. So he pretty much tells her that if he didn't have business to attend to soon, he'd drag her back home. And Dokrak's like, oh, okay, well then go to your business then. I think she's assuming that his business is probably his mistress's. And she's like, I'm actually quite surprised to see you here, to be honest. Your business must be so important that you couldn't resist coming. I think she means his mistresses. She's just being petty, and I love it. I love petty Dokrak. So yeah, after that, he leaves, and Pam comforts Rak, and yeah, she just comforts her after all that. And the next thing we see is Gowie's sitting in the break room, and his mom comes in and brings him some of the sweets that she got from Pam's grandma. And she tells him where she got them, and he's like, I know that place. I know that place. And then the next thing we see is Nene walking into the hospital in her red as hell heels. Those are very red heels. Oh my God. But yeah, she's walking into the hospital and she wants to see a doctor. She specifically wants to see back in Cowie's mom. So yeah, she goes and sees the doctor, and Dokrak's mom is like, aren't you the girl that I just saw this morning? And she's like, yeah, what a coincidence. I didn't follow you here at all. And so she asks her, like, okay, what brings you here? And Nene tells her that she's been having trouble sleeping. And she can't find any, and she's always sad. She can't find any source of happiness. And so Dokrak's mom asks, she's like, okay, how long has this been going on? And Nene says, for quite a while, probably since my mom passed away. And this is when we get all the information that we've been waiting for. We finally find out who Nene is. And she's like, yeah, I think this has been going on since my mom passed away, probably even before that. And Dokrak's mom wants to know if she's comfortable sharing her story with her. And Nene, she shares. She's like, when I was young, I grew up without a father. She's like, I had one, but he didn't care about me. He only cared about his other family and his other kids. So yeah, we know exactly who she's talking about. And he's like, he left me and my mom to fend for ourselves. My mom had hope that one day he would come back to her and that we would all be a family, but that never happened. And then my mom passed away, and he didn't even come to her funeral. And the only thing he left me was some money so that I wouldn't have to struggle. But that's all he left me. And he pretty much wants nothing to do with me. So she wants to know, she asked the doctor, she's like, the doctor asked her, she's like, have you tried contacting him? Like, have you tried talking to him? And Nene's like, should I try contacting him, or should I just tell his family who I am? Ooh, so yeah, now we know. Nene is the half sister of Gowie and Dokrak. Yeah, and I'm honestly surprised that Nene hasn't blown this up before. Like, I'm surprised she just didn't find Dokrak's mom and just explode before. I don't know why she hadn't, to be honest. But yeah, after that, all of them everyone is sitting by the campfire, and Ake wants to do the Friday night sad story thing, or Saturday night sad sad story thing since it's Saturday in this episode. And everyone's like, haven't we had enough sadness today? Like, come on, we've had enough. We don't need to share sad stories today. Like, Natcha's been through the ringer today. We don't need that. So, they kind of switch it up a little bit, and Pam has a good idea because Natcha mentions she wants to know why she keeps failing at love. And Pam has a good idea. She's like, why don't you look at it from a different perspective? And she's like, instead of seeing it as you failing, like, look at it a different way. She's like, love isn't always a failure, or like a matter of right or wrong. She's like, I believe each failure brings with it a new opportunity. And I'm like, okay, I can see what you mean by that. And not just like, what do you mean by a new opportunity? And Pam answers her, she's like, well, try new things. Like, just because one thing didn't go the way that you hoped doesn't mean you can't try doing something else and start finding happiness in your own way. And she's like, I've heard it usually takes people about 3 to 6 months to recover from heartbreak. And I'm like, yeah, I can see that. I mean, I guess depending on like how strong the relationship was, yeah, I can see 3 to 6 months being a good amount of time. I think it's probably taken me about that long to fully get over someone. I think so. Yeah, maybe a little bit longer. But yeah, she gives Natcha some good advice, and then Doc is like, you know what? Let's sing. So she brings out her guitar, and they all have like a little jam session. It's funny. But yeah, after that we see Oat in her bar, looking like Oat, doing what Oat does, and we see Nene get ready to leave, and she's stumbling. She's drunk. Nene, she drinks a lot, man. She drinks a lot. So yeah, she's getting ready to leave, and Oat sees her. She's like, "Oh, you're leaving?" And she's like, are you gonna be okay getting home? Do you need me to take you? And Nene's like, no. She's like, I can make it on my own. And so Oat's like, okay, fine. And then Nene breaks her heel and falls, and Oat catches her, and we have that infamous little scene of them staring at each other. It's cute. I like them together. I do. I like them together. I'm a View Mem fan now. I'm a View Mem fan. So yeah, she breaks her heel, she takes them off, and she's gonna throw them away. And Oat stops her. She's like, why are you gonna throw these away? She's like, you're just gonna walk barefoot? And Nene's like, it's better than walking with a broken heel. She's like, why would I keep something that's broken? And Oat's like, we can fix it. It's not a big deal. We can fix this. And Nene's like, no, like, they're broken. There's no point. They're useless now, basically. And so Oat's like, all right, fine. Just wait here. Wait here 1 second. And Oat leaves and comes back with a pair of slippers. Pair of pink fuzzy slippers. They're so cute. And she's like, here, you can borrow mine to get home. And Nene's like, no, there's no need for that. It's like, why would I wear your slippers? And Oat's like, well, they're fluffy and they're comfortable. And it's better than walking barefoot and bruising your beautiful feet. And I'm like, okay. All right. So Nene is like, I'm not wearing your flippers, your flip flops, or your slippers. And so Oat takes it upon herself. She bends down and she tries to put them on Nene's feet herself. And Nene's like, whoa, what are you doing? And Oat's like, I'm putting these on for you. Like, you're not going to walk home barefoot. And so Nene lets her. She puts her feet in the slippers. Nene looks very shy. She looks very shy. And yeah, she goes home. I have a feeling that Oat is gonna fix her shoes for her and give them back at some point. But yeah, they have their cute moments. They do. Nene is playing very, very hard to get when it comes to Oat. It's insane. So yeah, the next thing we see is Gowie at home. His mom is trying to talk to him, but he's like spaced out. He's not even listening to anything. And when he finally comes to, after her calling his name 1,000 times, she's like, are you okay? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm just thinking about work. Sorry. He's like, I had a patient today. It's just, he's like, yeah, I was just thinking about work. Sorry. And and Nene's Dokrak's mom is saying how she had a patient today that was upset and hurt, and she reminded her of Dokrak. I'm like, oh, I wonder why. I wonder why her and Dokrak are similar. Oh, okay. Yeah, probably because they're sisters. But yeah, so yeah, she's telling Kawi about this, and she's like, I want Dokrak to come home for a meal. Can you ask her? I don't like how the mom and the dad are always putting Dokrak coming home on Kawi. That's not his job to get her to come home. If you guys want her to come home, then you need to talk to her yourself. You need to ask herself, especially the mom, because dad has been trying. Like every time he sees her, he hears saying, "Come home, come home. Your mom wants you to come home." It's like if the mom wants her to come home, then the mom needs to reach out to her and say, "Hey, would you please come home? I would like to see you." But she doesn't want to do that because she's ashamed to talk to Dokurak herself. But I don't think it's fair that they keep putting that on Kawi. Like this poor man, he's going through a lot as it is already. Um, but he's like, why don't you just ask her yourself? And she's like, if I do, she won't come home. He's like, how do you know that? And she's like, will you please just help me? Like, just ask her to come home. And so Kawi agrees, he's gonna ask her. And yeah, this next scene is also very, very cute. We see Dokrak and Pam in the tent. Excuse me, they're in the tent. And Pam is cuddled up very close to Dokrak. And at first, Dokrak's like, she's like looking at Pam. She's moving her hair away from her face. And she's thinking, oh, she's so pretty. And eventually, reality sits in. And she starts panicking because she's like, oh, what if Natcha comes back in and she sees this? We can't do this. And so she's trying to wake up Pam, and Pam's like, stop talking so loud, you're gonna wake people up. And Doug is like, why are you cuddled so close? Like, why are you hugging me so close? She's like, you gotta, what if Natcha comes back? And Pam's like, she's still drinking with Ake and Prim. She's not gonna come in yet. She's like, we're fine. She's not gonna come in here for a while. And after that, Dokrak kind of settles a little bit, and she hugs Pam back. And they're so close to each other. When Pam opened her eyes and Dokrak was looking down at her, I honestly thought we were gonna get another kiss. I wasn't opposed to it. I was just like, oh, okay. Are we getting another one? We didn't get another one. We came close though. We came very close to getting another kiss. And I would have been very happy if we had. I'm not gonna lie. So, um, when they have the moment, that's when Natcha decides, okay, I'm gonna come in now. She's being very loud. She's a very loud drunk. And so as soon as she starts to unzip the tent, um, I've never seen two people move away from each other so fast. Oh my goodness. Pam flies to the other side of the tent. And Doug turns around so fast. But yeah, Natcha stumbles in, and and yeah, she's very drunk. And Dokrak's trying to help her get settled and everything. Natcha just sits herself right in the middle between Pam and Dokrak. She knows her spot. She's right there in the middle. And Dokrak's trying to get her tucked in. She's getting her a blanket and everything. And while she's doing that, she covers up Pam as well. And when she covers up Pam, Pam grabs her hand, and they're holding hands for a little bit and having another little moment before Natcha starts being a little bit loud again. And so Doug goes back to her spot. And yeah, it was funny. It was a funny little scene. I was like, dang it, Natcha, if you would have waited 5 more minutes, just 5 minutes. So yeah, now what do we see next? I think next back, they just came back from the trip, right? No. So next we see Cowie at the hospital with his friend, and they're eating lunch, and Cowie looks depressed as hell. And his friend's like, hey, what's wrong? And he's like, nothing, I'm fine, I'm just sleep deprived. And he's like, you slept less in high school and you look better than this. Like, what's wrong? And Cowie tells him that he broke up with his girlfriend. And he's like, it's my fault, really. And Cowie's kind of spiraling right now. Like, he's kind of spiraling. Because his friend's like, what happened? You guys just started dating. And Cowie's like, it was my fault. Everything's my fault. It's like, Cowie, not everything is your fault. Not everything is your fault. Don't do this to yourself. He's like, everything that happened, Pam, my sister, my family. He's putting a lot on his shoulders that he doesn't have to. Like, I feel so bad for Cowie. I do. I feel bad for Cowie. But yeah, he's spiraling, and I can only imagine what's gonna happen to him next. But I don't know. I feel bad for Cowie. So yeah, next we see they're all back at the coffee shop. They just got back from their camping trip. And they're all pretty much making fun of Ake for being old because he makes a reference to an anime, and they have no idea what it is. So they're getting ready to leave, and before they leave, Dokrak stops Pam, and she's like, "Can I ask you a favor?" And Pam's like, "Yeah, of course. What do you need?" And Dokrak's like, "Would you be willing to tutor me because I want to take my entrance exams for college?" And Pam's like, "Yeah, I will help tutor you. That sounds great. I'm happy that you're going back to school." Um. So yeah. Dokrak decided she's gonna she's gonna go to university after all, and Pam is very excited to help her out. So yeah, they go their separate ways. Pam heads home, and she's talking to T and Grandma, and they're like talking about hairstyles and stuff. And T mentions that Pam had long hair forever, and then one day she just decided to cut it all off and have short hair. And they're like, "Oh yeah, why did you do that?" She's like, "We never understood why you cut your hair so short." And T, I think, asked her, "Do you want to try something different? Are you tired of this look now?" And Pam's like, "No, I'm not tired of it." She's like, "I pretty much cut my hair because I wanted to be a different person. I wanted to be a new person." And they're like, "Do you feel like a new person?" She's like, "No, I still feel like my old self. But now I'm experiencing new emotions." And she's kind of zoned out because she's thinking about Dokrak. And she's like, "I even though I feel like my old self, I'm experiencing new emotions and new feelings." And she kind of has like an epiphany. And so she's like, "I'll be back. I gotta go." So she runs out. T and Grandma are both confused. And then we see Dokrak at home, putting her stuff away, talking to a fish, and she's getting ready to excuse me, she's getting ready to feed them. And then she hears a knock on the door. And she goes and opens the door, and Pam is there. Pam's like, "Can I come in?" And Dokrak's like, "Yeah, of course." So she lets her in, and they go and sit on the bed. And Pam's like, "I have to tell you something." And Dokrak is concerned. She's like, "Okay, what is it?" And Pam is like, what does she say? I'm trying to remember what she says. She's like, if you feel that our feelings are wrong, then I accept that. And you want to end things between us, then I accept that. But I can't lie about my feelings anymore. And she's like, I just want you to know that I love you. And I will always love you. And I want to be with you. And as soon as she says the words, "I want to be with you," Dokrak leans in and kisses her. It was so sweet. She leans in and kisses her. And Pam is like, "Are you sure?" And Dokrak's like, "I love you too." And and yeah, we get their scene. Yeah, Dokrak says that she loves Pam too, and she wants to be with her. And yeah, what I will say about this scene, it kind of reminds me of how they filmed in Pluto as well. We see enough, um, but it doesn't go overboard. We see just enough. We see what we need to see. And it was so cute. They have a really good kissing scene. I'm not gonna lie. They did a fantastic job with this kiss scene. Um yeah, they did a great job. They did a really great job. It looks like Dokrak is top in this one. At least from the ending part that we see when she pushes Pam to the bed. But yeah, that's how the episode ends. Yeah, in next episode we see a couple previews. And we see that Cowie finds out about Dokrak and Pam. So you can only imagine how that's gonna go. But yeah, that was episode 6 of Us. I am very happy that we got the Nene reveal. When we did, I didn't think we were gonna to get it until probably towards the end of the series, but right in the middle, that's good. I like it. And yeah, Linda and all of you were right. Nene is a half sibling. I kind of figured she was going to be. I just wanted to keep my other options open because I felt like that was very obvious that she was going to be a half sibling. But yeah, Nene is a half sibling to both Dokrak and Cowie. And after I watched this episode, I think like a day or so after I watched this episode, I was thinking about it again in my head. And I came to the realization that Cowie has very, very bad luck when it comes to his sisters. Especially with women that he's liked or likes. Because we had Cowie and Oat, right? They dated for a while. Oat does not like men. And that's why Cowie broke up with her. Because he found out that she was gay. Oat is now interested in Nene. Nene is Cowie's half sister. Cowie dated Pam. Really, really liked Pam. Pam does not like him. She likes his sister. So when a Cowie and whatever girl Cowie ends up with, he cannot introduce them to his sisters. Otherwise, they will choose his sisters over him. No, I don't think that's true. But Cowie just has really bad luck with women. This poor man, he has such bad luck with women. I feel bad for him. But yeah, so that was episode 6. This is kind of a shorter recap, just because I'm filming maybe 3 or 4 videos right now, so I want to keep it shorter. So I have time to edit and get these all out for you guys. But yes, so that was episode 6. Episode 7 will be out on Wednesday. I have already watched it. I'm going to film it right after this. So yeah, we'll be caught up for the weekend, and I'll record episode 8 for you guys next week. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about episode 6. What did you think about the Nene reveal? What did you think about Natcha and her love life situation? What did you think about the end when Dokrak and Pam finally get together and do the darn thing? What did you think? I want to know down below. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. We're almost to 500 subscribers, which is very exciting. And yeah, in the comments, let Linda know to hurry up and come back. Tell her that you're tired of listening to me talk by myself and that you want her to come back too. Because I've been telling her, you guys, but she doesn't want to listen to me. So down below, put some words of encouragement for Linda to get caught up so she can come back to the podcast and we can record together again. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye.
Confrontations คือไออุ่น